I just want everybody to know.
Chin's dressed like a ninja. Chin's dressed like a ninja.
He's dressed like a ninja.
Black on black.
Because he's a ninja. He's got sidekicks and front punches, looping shots as well.
That's racist,
he's
bro.
Chin. I just want to say to everybody in America that in 1 week, Brett and Schaub will be 34 years old.
You know what? I found myself lying about my age. Not even for the first time I found myself lying. You know what, though? I had to text my brother and ask him how old I was because I don't know. Like after I think 30, you're just like, yeah, whatever. So I was like, someone asked me last night at the comedy store, goes, your birthday, some fan goes, your birthday's going right. I went, yeah, hell. I go, 32. And then I went, you're lying, Brendan. And I went, can't go. No, wait, 34.
Yeah, I
just went 32.
Oh no.
And he goes, damn, young buck. I went, crazy. But in my mind, I'm like, well, let's for sure not lie about our age. You're 34.
My friend was 45, and he had a girl with him. He comes in, and he's really big, and he comes in. We were in New York, and she was hot, and he goes, hey, I gotta talk to you. What? And he goes, hey, I told her I was 33. I go, well, you don't look 33. You look so 45, I can't explain it. You look so 45, it's ridiculous. And by the way, I was 42 at the time. And I was like, how do you lie? She's going to find out. He goes, I know, just be
cool, bro.
I'm like, and also, you're wearing fucking puka shells. I can't be friends with you.
God damn it. That does make him look younger, though.
Some of your friends are like, I just can't.
Hey, when did you start lying about your age? Because it hit me last time, like, am I getting that old? And like, to me, birthdays, they've never really meant too much. It doesn't matter what you do for my birthday. Usually my feelings are hurt at the end of the night for whatever reason.
Wait a minute.
Isn't that weird?
Wait. I know why. You're the best with this shit. You're like my dad because you want a huge to-do and a fuss. And when nobody makes a huge to-do and a fuss, you get sulky. And you're just sensitive because you are a diva. Like the something that cracks me up so hard is that the truth is you are the biggest diva because you want a giant to-do. Like you want us to release balloons and doves and have trumpets.
I'll take a dove.
And you want to be, come on, guys. Come on.
Please stop.
Let's go. And put a fucking ribbon on this elephant for no reason.
It's too much. It's too much.
And now a parade with an elephant. I'm going to release, not even doves, eagles. I'll release huge eagles.
Hey, and after you did all that, I'd go, no, stop. Too much. You guys didn't get a tiger?
A tiger with kung fu acrobats riding the tiger and then doing flips, and then I throw apples in the air and Chin blows darts into them because he's actually a ninja.
No, we'll do something.
What do you mean no?
Key.
That's what you
want.
want.
Do something super low key.
Your feelings will be hurt.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I had a few goals this year, and I've accomplished a bunch. Not a bunch. The two main ones, right? I'm going through the process of buying a home. Just went escrow today.
Yep. Congrats.
So that was a big one, and then the one man show, and then birthdays, whatever, man. It's just I don't.
You couldn't be doing better at 34. Let's be honest. In a lot of ways. I don't know. You always want more, but you're doing very well.
Yeah. Like when you're looking for a home, and then you like your agent will send you something. It's like, well, that's definitely on my price range, is it?
Yeah.
Why would you sell me that?
Yeah.
That's like me going looking for a Kia, and then the guy going, listen, I know you're looking for Kias. Check out the Ferrari over here. Like, yeah, very cool. That's a fucking Ferrari. Why would you show me that? Well, now these Kias look like pure shit.
When
like they showed me a home, I swear they showed me this home. It was $32 million in Malibu.
Oh no.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
Unless I become the fucking Prince of Aruba or some shit like that, I can't afford that. Why would you send me that?
Well,
the fucking entrance is bigger than all the homes I'm looking at. Why would you do that?
That's hilarious because when I went about 7 years ago, maybe more than that, I was looking at homes with my brother-in-law who's made some bank. He's made some
amazing
bank.
Crib. Might have the best house I've ever seen.
And I went around looking at houses in his price range, which is between 5 and 7 mil or whatever. Dude, and then I came back to my place.
Don't do that.
And you can't do that because then you start looking at literally such a fraction of that price, and it's a whole different situation. And then you go, wait, that kitchen and that closet,
besides my entire house.
Yeah, you don't even think about it. But once you start comparing, or once you see it, you're like, that view is fucking. That would make me happy every day. That view. I think money buys me when you go in there, you get this illusion. You're like, I think money would buy me happiness because I would just wear a robe and stare at that view.
It's just not. It's not real. Like those houses, it looks like you might as well live at the Bellagio. Like it's just this giant crib. Like my buddy, we were talking about. I've been balls deep in real estate, just so dived into it. You kind of have to be. It's been a nightmare. And he's like, oh yeah, man. I'm like, look at this, and gets out his floor plan. I'm like, no,
there's money in
LA. That is cool.
Yeah,
that's
there's
cool,
money in
man.
LA. Yeah, there's money in LA.
Okay, well,
I was next.
We're
to
not
this
even.
guy.
We're not even the same realm. We're not even the same universe.
Well, I was with this. I was next to this guy, and I was buying wine. You know, I love wine, and I'll spend money on wine, but not money. And the guy next to me he's kind of tall, very good looking guy, and very loud and very jubilant. And he knows the guy he's buying wine from, and he's just being funny and stuff. And he's a little younger than me. And I'm not exaggerating. The guy rings up he bought 3 bottles of wine, and the price for the wine. This is at a register.
That place we go to off Lincoln?
No, it was off of Montana, and he goes, and the price was $1,580, and I went, the fuck is going on? And I go, that's some nice. I had to say something. I go, and I look at the wine. I go, that's some great wine. Yeah. Then he goes, yeah, my buddy's in the hospital. I'm bringing it over to him. He's bummed out, so we're going to drink. But for him, $1,500 was what you spent on
depends.
wine.
Or he could be a raging dickhead with his money. Like there's difference.
There are
It
people
just
like
depends.
that. There are people like that who go, well, my business.
That's not hood rich.
My old business manager who handled a lot of actors.
Yeah.
Called me up one time and said, how's the album going? And I go, what? He goes, well, how's the album? Like, how's it selling? It must be killing it. And I go, my album? I haven't even shot my special. What's he talking about? He goes, but what's it like to play for all those crowds? And I go, well, I don't play for crowds. I play for, And he goes, I go,
not Bono,
this
bitch.
is Bryan Callen. And he goes, yes, the rock star. And I go, no, the comedian. He goes, you're not a rock star. I go, no. He goes, oh my God. That's so funny. Maybe you should stop spending like a rock star
hilarious.
so that I don't have to call you in 6 months to tell you that you're broke, because this is how it goes.
That's hilarious.
It was fucking hilarious.
That's
I go,
so
oh
funny.
no. He goes, you need to come in tomorrow so I can show you how much you spend so we can go through a budget.
Is that our guy?
No, this is another
That's
guy.
hilarious.
And he was right. He goes, let me explain. He was showing me how much, what I would spend a year for like when I spend $10 on coffee.
Yeah.
Right? Shit adds up to the point. And he said so many actors that he knows, he'll have that talk with them. They go, I know, and they cry, and then they go right back to spending. Then he calls them again. And pretty soon he has to call him and go, listen, you don't have any money. Now listen, I know you're a household name. And I know
this is gonna sting you a little bit.
It's gonna really sting because
you need to bunk up with your brother.
I know that you're. That's right. I know that you fly first class, and I know you like to drive that car because people know who you are.
Now you have to sell that car.
You have to sell that car.
Southwest,
and it gets worse because you got to start looking at selling the house that you still owe money on, and the tears that would come. You got to get a job.
It's a reality check.
It's a reality check, and it happens in L.A. all the fucking time.
Well, acting's tricky, right? Because
Yes.
it's so hot and cold. Like you might have a killer year,
Yeah.
and that season ends, and you're back on the meat market. Like you're Adrian Peterson, 30 as fuck, trying to get on a team.
Dude,
like it's a tough gig.
My buddy was killing it. He was killing it, and he goes, "You got to come over to my new house," and because I bought houses, I know numbers. And I walk in, and I also know what he was doing. I knew the shows he was doing, and he was doing really well. But I also know what it means to go from job to job. I also know what it means to go from cable jobs to network jobs. I also know the difference between getting a show where you're doing 24 episodes versus 10 episodes on
Night and
HBO.
day, right?
Night and day.
Night and day.
What people think is a lot of money, you're not making money. So I walk into his house. And I also knew that his kids were in private school. And I looked at his house, and I swear to God, and I went, he goes, how about this? And I went, it's amazing. I said, but what did you put down? Because I'm like, my hands are together. I go, of course you have to have family money. Because that's the only way you would do this. Your father would say, here's $1 million. It's the only way, right? I mean, that's how. And he goes, oh, man, we put 20% down. And I said... And I did a quick number, and I went, you gotta, before you get out of bed, you need to make $40,000 a month. And he goes, well, more than that because of the kids and stuff. I go, I know. I just said before you get out of bed in this house. And he said, yeah. I said, so can I guess at the number now when you're being even conservative, you got to make about $55,000 a month just to break even? He goes, I haven't really looked at the numbers. I panicked for him. I said, I just knew. I knew it was going to be when you do that. And I'm telling you, you think, that's crazy? That's not uncommon in Hollywood.
No.
It's just not, because actors are not money people.
But they're not.
By the way, long story short, disaster. I call him, a little
He's
bit.
your roommate now.
Yeah, right. He just basically had to lose the house, his credit destroyed. It was a disaster, but you can't do that to yourself.
But not having a business manager going, listen, this is what it's going to look like every month. This is where you're at. This is the consistency you're making. That's like a fighter, a big time fighter, not having a nutritionist. Going, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to eat this. Hopefully I make the weight. Well, when you don't make the weight or you don't make that nut, meaning if you don't make that money or you don't get that roll you're banking on, you're so fucked.
Yes.
It's irreversible.
Yeah, but and that's exactly right. And most of us, all of us as human beings, have a side of our brain that's very irrational. It's very rare that, and it's very important, though, if you really get down to it, in everything you talk about, whether it's politics, whether it's your own philosophy, whether it's how you're living your life, how you're spending your money, you got to ask yourself some hard questions. You do have to kind of get down to the nitty gritty. When you really look at your numbers of what you're making and what you're spending, how much are you able to save? You do. It is. Most of us don't plan for worst case scenario. Most of us don't. If you hear about the way people talk when a civil war breaks out in a country and the entire country falls apart, whether it's the civil war in Lebanon or whatever, the people that we knew who were friends, none of them thought it was going to last more than a weekend. And in this amazing book called The Black Swan, which is written by a mathematician.
Amazing movie.
Yeah, a great. No, but this is a book called Black Swan. Yes. But he also talks about most of life is when we all think that there's a certain way we're going in life. So most of us don't predict disaster. Most of us...
We're talking about the curveball.
Yes, the curveball. And most of life is a curveball. What we don't realize is a financial disaster in 2007, curveball, Black Swan. And you should always expect Black Swan.
Especially most of our friends, you and I aren't Black Swan. I'd say most of our friends are. Like Rogan is. My brother is to the fullest extent.
Very smart guy.
My dad is.
You mean those guys planning always for disaster?
Yeah.
Yes. It's smart. You don't want to be a
zombie
prepper.
Apocalypse that we don't know about.
Right.
I'm like,
well, one of the zombies.
I guess just sit on that huge nut and just chill.
Well, I had a CIA. Right. Good luck.
Or have some fun. But I think there's a balance. I think you got to do both. Like I think you got to. Your life is about having fun, so you can't die with your money. I think it's good to invest and for your family and stuff like that, especially if you have kids. At the same time, too. Like, I think people that they just, keep this money so tight to their chest and, I've always wanted that car, and then you get that car when you're 70. All right, well, enjoy it when you're 70, I guess, or you could live your life, Well,
I read a book called Rich Man, Poor Man. I said to my father, I go, I'm spending too much money. I got to start saving money. And then my father's listening to me, and I'm going through all my financial plans. And my father goes, or you could die broke. You ever heard of that? You ever heard that saying? When I die, I don't want to have any money. I'm going to give it all away, or I'm going to spend it all. Yep. In other words, you're right. There is. You have to make the choice to have fun, and if you're just a complete prepper, it's a problem. But
it's also painful.
We have a lot of. My friend works a little bit. He's an intelligence guy. He works in intelligence. Very smart guy, huh?
Blue?
No, different guy. And he sent me an amazing article. He said we are on the cusp. You could make the argument we're on the cusp of major social and political upheaval. And I was like, what? And the article was really not about what you would think it was. It was what robotics and automation are going to do to jobs.
Yeah.
We're going to have a third of our jobs probably in the next 20 years, from truck driving to drivers to medical, in the medical field, are going to be done with very sophisticated robots. Even a lot of our war and a lot of things that we do, to defend the country and things are done by robotics.
But also
so
to that point, that
generate
like the generation now they're going to be aware of that. Like, let's say your dad's a truck driver. That's not going to affect him really, because he didn't even think of that, and that was his talent, or I guess that was his craft that he really dived into.
Right.
Like my son, if he's like, the options aren't going to be there. You're not going to be a truck driver.
Right.
You're not going to mail boxes. You're not going to work for UPS.
Yeah.
Robots do that. So you're not even considered that. So they move on and find something
The question
else.
is, what do we do?
With those people?
As robots do more and more, and we have less. There's less need for human effort, human manual effort, less need for even human services where robots can do that. What do we do with all that
I'm going to post this
manpower?
thing. It was and this isn't an endorsement. It's not a sponsor. I meant to post it this morning, but I forgot. I was working out. And it was a Verizon commercial. And they go to, I think it's a middle school or elementary school. I think it's middle school if these kids are talking like this. And they're interviewing these kids and they go, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, it's actor, athlete, famous comedian, whatever. Mm-hmm. And they go, how much do you think those people, why do you want to do that? And they're saying money. And they go, well, are you aware of that these jobs make this money? Mm-hmm. And then they show all these amazing scientists, researchers, all these jobs that actually help the world. And they make this money. Like they spotlight actors, athletes, all this stuff, and celebrities. But these people make phenomenal money, but you just don't hear about it. So they show the list that these kids who that's what they view as success is money, and they show these jobs, these important jobs in the world, and there's a plan to get there instead of being an actor, comedian, whatever, athlete.
I want to see that because
I'll show you. I'm going to blast out. It's not endorsement. I don't even fuck with Verizon. I have T-Mobile, so this isn't a sponsor read. But and the kids go and they go, so what do you say now? I'm like, oh, we had no idea. Like there's actually a vision here, because there's no vision of being a celebrity. There's no vision being a UFC world champion. Like that's gonna be tough, right? This is actually something tangible that we can go, if you do these steps, you are guaranteed to get there.
That's awesome.
It was such a cool commercial.
Yeah, because even going back to that Black Swan, yes, there are going to be events we can't predict that are going to change everything. It's like the economists use the old analogy of buggy whips. So there was a huge industry for buggy whips when people got around on horse and buggy, and they would have to. And there were, old families that made excellent buggy whips, and part of the economy was dependent on things like that. When the internal combustion engine comes along, people are driving. Yeah,
we've always figured it out, though. That's not the end of the world.
Know that
everyone adapts. Like there's always going to be that. There's always that with everything.
This really great educator said to kids. He said basically, to get ready for the 21st century, you have got to be viable in the economy. You got to learn you got to be ready to learn and know how to unlearn and learn again. And there's schools,
and there's actually schools that are teaching kids that, where they take out certain things these days. Mm-hmm. Where it's arts, math, and they focus on certain things that translate to the real world, translate to college, where you're not studying kind of this old school history shit or reading these old textbooks. Mm-hmm. Like it's doing actual learning that things that apply.
Yeah. Well, I don't think we teach kids the art of learning. Like one of the best books I always talk about is Josh Waitzkin's book, who trains under Marcelo Garcia, jiu-jitsu guy, but he was a chess master.
Yeah.
And he has a school where he teaches the kids the art of learning through martial arts, I think chess and music. Yeah. And what they learn is, again, when you learn how to learn, you can apply that to so many other things. Yeah. And I never really learned the art of learning. I was never taught sort of how to approach
People
learning.
Say that, but we're doing something right. Like people complain about college and high school, but there's some pretty smart people that followed the same curriculum and pretty fucking smart, and they learned very well.
Sure.
Now there's the outliers that go, well, I'm a visual learner. I'm a cerebral, like I'm not learned that way. I get that. For the most part, it kind of works. There's some people who went through elementary, middle school, high school, and they're fucking brilliant. Yeah. And they studied and weren't playing grab ass. They actually learned something.
Well, it's funny you said
everyone wants to. Oh, we got to reinvent the. It's same with workouts. Oh, kettlebell. You know how long the fucking kettlebell's been around? Oh, circuit training. Yeah. You know how long that's been around? Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, it's really interesting you say that because I had a high school principal at my school, my show one time. And he said, I'm a principal. And I started talking to him about education. I was like, what are we going to do about the state of education in our schools? What do you think? And he looks at me and he goes, our schools are fine. Our parents suck. My school's great. You do my curriculum, you're going to learn a shitload. The parents are who suck. And basically teach how they raise their kids. And he was blaming it on, it was kind of interesting. Yeah, he was like, you could learn a lot.
Everyone says, well, my kid has ADD. No, he just has a lot of energy. Maybe figure something else to do with him. Or maybe he needs to get some fucking discipline, realize recess is in an hour. Hold your fucking pants. And learn some actual control, some self-control.
Well, wasn't it, who was it? Malcolm Gladwell and Outliers found, there's like, why are Asian people so good at math? And he's like, well, let's take a look at what that means. Yes, there are a lot of really smart, like some crazy percentage of people who get into MIT Massachusetts Institute of Technology, where they come up with all kinds of stuff, are Asian. Well, he said, hold on, what kind of Asians? And they looked at the Asians that actually get into it. Well, they come from a tradition of rice farming, okay? Rice farming is an incredibly labor-intensive crop, which requires actually a lot of math and measurement. It wasn't all Asian people. Too. A lot of discipline, and there is a work ethic that's instilled in that group that is beyond what most people can deal with. So when you're Asian from that culture, this is Malcolm Gladwell talking, and you come across a math problem, what Americans do is go, I'm not a math person, it's way too hard. What the Asian parent does from the rice farming culture, they
grind.
They go, you're going to grind.
They grind.
You think you're going to grind.
You're going to grind.
Hey, it's too hard. What did you say? Mom, Dad, it's too hard.
You grind.
Huh?
You grind.
Ah, shit. Yeah, you'll sit there for 4 hours and you're going to figure that fucking math out.
What's the difference?
That's the difference.
I have ADD. Shut the fuck up.
I'm not a math person. Shut up.
I need to see a visual. God damn it.
You can grind.
You grinding.
You grinding.
You grinding. Then you can roll my goddamn sushi roll.
Well, I don't know if they're going to make him do that.
I would if I was the dad.
You're so mean.
This is my family.
Yeah, but I just doing math.
You're going to figure out that math. You're going to cook that delicious rice like butter. Then you're going to make some sashimi.
So is that a sushi break? Hey, guess what? Now you get a sushi break, which means you get to make it for me.
Oh, guess who just pulled sushi duties? You did. So you're going to grind for 2 hours.
You can grind.
Then your break's going to be rolling my goddamn sushi roll.
You grind.
It's going to be a California roll. Don't fuck it up. Don't fuck it up. And I know they don't have California rolls in real sushi places, but I'm the American dad. I'm your stepdad. I'm the white stepdad.
Oh, you are?
You're going to make that American sushi. So let's go ahead and make that crunch roll, stupid bitch. Go and make the crunch roll.
Stupid bitch?
Yeah.
You're being super mean
mad
to this imaginary Asian son.
That I'm the stepdad?
Yeah, stepson of yours.
You're going to roll my goddamn crunch roll, toss some eel sauce
He doesn't
on
even
it,
know how to make.
fuck.
I don't even know.
And then I need some
fuck.
teriyaki chicken with fried rice.
You're being so mean to this imaginary Asian stepson who's not good at math
You know
right
what?
now.
I don't like your attitude at all. So guess what you're going to do now? Now I'm getting real angry. You're going to make a little fucking stop, and you're going to walk. You can walk.
It's cold out.
You can grind, not get a coat. You can get me
No
Panda
coat.
Express. And now I need a double scoop of orange chicken, as Asian as it gets.
Double scoop. So he's got to walk in the cold, get yourself some Panda Express, which is probably near the airport because that's the only place Panda Express
Definitely
lives.
not. They're all over LA.
Okay.
And if you want a cheat meal, Panda Express.
Is that right?
God damn, that orange chicken is what's in there.
Good. I don't know. I
What
eat it all the time too.
Fuck?
It's terrible, but
It is
so good.
It's deep fried candy that they try to tell you it's chicken. It's deep fried. They put that orange sauce on it. My mouth is watering right now. I'm fasting today. My mouth.
fasting?
Yeah. Well, I fast usually during the week. That orange chicken is so fucking fresh, man. I haven't been. I can't remember last time I was at a mall. You remember when they give you the little samples? Like, want to try a sample? I don't know what's in it, man.
Yeah. I
When's
get
last
it-
time
I
you
get
had
it at the airport.
I know you
I
have
get it
like
at
a
the airport.
highlight. That we ate it one time at the
Yeah,
airport.
delicious. Rice.
My mouth is
delicious.
watering so bad. Why do they make it so good?
You're swallowing your own saliva.
I know. Why do they make it so good?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll get on my birthday. I'm gonna have a cheat day on Saturday.
Well, speaking of good, there's some things that you forget are so good. I had a Domino's pizza, and I know it sounds silly.
You
it
forgot? I feel like taking my
fucking delicious.
fucking calloused hand, dry right now, by the way, and smacking your 50-year-old face.
'Cause I don't know.
Domino's is as fucking American as get.
It's so good,
Find
though.
a better pizza than Domino's. For delivery,
It was so good.
Fuck you. Papa John's, no. Pizza Hut, no.
Right.
Little Caesars ain't even in the game. Domino's kills it.
They got scientists.
And here's a little tip. This is a fat kid tip. If you want a fresh one, because they're going to have a lot of pizzas back there.
Yeah.
Oh, we got another cheese one. Guess what? The Callan's ordered another fucking pepperoni.
Why are you jacking
so you
off?
get an old one. This is what you do so you make sure it's fresh. When you're ordering on the menu there, you add extra sauce. They got to make it fresh, son. And it comes better. It's not that much sauce.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Give it up.
Oh man,
Fat kid, I get some tips. I'm not going to give all my fat kid tips.
it's delicious.
Yeah.
Well, they have.
You want fresh fries?
Scientists that.
I don't want salt on my fries. What? We got to make a fresh batch. I love my fresh fries.
Wow, technique.
I'm pretty crunk about it.
Yeah.
You know
Impressive.
what's ISIS is, ready for this? Papa Murphy's.
I don't know Papa Murphy's.
There's the problem. So it's like Papa John's, but these silly bitches don't deliver. You go pick up your basically frozen pizza from these silly fucks, then you got to put in the oven at home.
That's a problem for me.
My fucking dad tried to pass that over to me one time. He goes, "Hey fellas," this is when I came back home like 3 years ago. He goes, "Let's watch football, have a pizza party." I fucking love pizza. I love football with my family. This sounds like a good time. And Jay Schaub right now is laughing at his desk at work listening to the story. I was so upset. We go over there, and I go, dude, Dad, you got to order Domino's, right? Because I like Papa John's. I went, I'll fuck with Papa John's. In Denver, it's a little better because that's where it started. Hashtag Peyton Manning owns it. And he goes, I'll get Papa John's. I walk upstairs. There's 2 Papa Murphy's. Now, I know Papa John's. I know Papa Schaub. I don't know Papa Murphy.
You don't know Papa Murphy's?
He tried fucking...
Sleight of hand.
He tried fucking pulling the fucking wool over my eyes.
Thought you just stop at Papa. Thought your eye would stop at Papa, not Brennan Shaw.
All I saw was Murphy.
Yeah, you don't stop at Papa.
I know
Papa.
Eddie Murphy.
Yep.
I don't know Papa
You don't
Murphy.
know Papa Murphy.
Unless Eddie Murphy's dad owns that fucking
Yep,
place.
and then I'm
I don't know
definitely not
Papa
going to buy it
Murphy.
either.
Definitely not buy it.
Who said that?
My dad went, all the same. I went, but it's not.
Was it Louis C.K.?
But it's not.
Louis C.K. goes, I'm a little racist. He was talking about it. He goes, everybody's a little racist. I'm a little racist. Like, if I go in a pizza joint and a bunch of black women are making my pizza, I'm going to be like, all right. I might try another pizza joint. That's fair. Doesn't mean anything. It just means he's a little racist.
That's fair. Yeah, Papa Chop tried pulling the old Papa Murphy's. Get the fuck out of my face.
Do you like Round Table?
Never had Round Table.
Are you serious?
Where's it at?
That's the one thing it's everywhere too. It's like one of the same.
Hey,
Round
bro.
Table.
Same
Round Table.
Domino's.
Have you ever
Never
heard
heard
Round
of that.
Table?
Nah,
Are you kidding?
No. Where do you live, bro?
What's
What's your background?
Here and Orange County.
And
I guess it's
Seoul,
mostly
Korea.
Orange County then probably.
It's more Orange County?
Maybe.
They get some
Okay.
weird shit out there. Like Frog Express.
Frog Express.
You ever had Frog Express?
No, is that real?
Yeah.
We make frogs.
No, it's like Pan Express and Frog Express.
You've seen you've seen that, I think it's where is it, in Singapore or whatever, where you get a health shake, and you know what they drop in
health
there?
shake?
You know what they drop in the health shake? You know this.
Oh, you said health. I said
yeah,
health
you know what
shake.
they drop in the health shake?
Crickets.
Oh, no, a frog. A raw frog. They skin
He's
the frog.
alive?
They skin the frog and they drop. It's fresh, yeah. They skin the frog right in front of you, and they drop it in the blender, and you
I
drink
feel
it.
sick. I love frogs, man. A tree frog, like a nice tree. Or are we talking about a toad? Toad, I'll drink.
I think it's a toad. I would never drink it. There's no.
Whoa.
That's where I draw
Bro,
the line.
big difference. We talking
that
about,
up for a
we
second.
talking about because we were talking about a poison tree frog.
You'll die.
Those are so cute.
Yeah.
Well, they skin them. That's the only dangerous part on them.
Oh, okay.
The
I don't think.
skin's
No,
dangerous.
these are bigger. These are big.
We're talking about a toad then.
Yeah, health frog shakes.
I used to have a pet frog and
There you
toad,
go.
by the way.
Prue's frog juice claims big health benefits. There you go. Many people who have long believed that drinking a juice made of whole, raw, blended frog cures everything, basically.
God damn, can we not eat everything?
Well.
God damn it. A little frog?
Human beings do.
Hey, get some
There you
fucking
go.
protein.
There it is. Video contains some
Endangered
disturbing
frogs.
images. That's a frog in there that they're going to...
Oh, I can't watch that.
I don't wanna
Jen.
watch this
Yeah, I
either.
can't
Isn't that
watch
funny how I don't either? I don't want to see a frog die that way.
No.
Yeah, poor thing. Anyway, yeah, glass aquariums containing dozens of toads and frogs. Frogs are from the Andes Mountains, and some of the species are endangered. The stall holder works quickly, taking orders from a stream of customers who perch on stools and stand watching her work. Making a frog shake takes a few minutes. First, the stall holder grabs a frog from the tank. She cuts its neck with a knife, of course, and skins it as easily as if she's peeling a banana. Then she puts it in a pan on a small stove. Oh, and some liquid, cooks it a little bit. Next, the
sear it.
bubbling concoction is... Yeah, you got to sear it up a little bit.
Sear his eyeballs up.
Yep, the bubbling concoction is poured into a liquidizer with the other ingredients powdered.
No,
Maca,
no.
vitamins, fruit, and honey.
For sure,
It's a
just use
thick
some
mixture.
goddamn protein powder from on it and save the frogs.
Yeah, not going to do it. Anything. By the way, everything tastes good when you've got fruit, bananas, honey.
No, honey. Fuck everything you just said.
Yeah.
Honey will literally cover it. Anything covered in honey, sign me
Yes,
up.
Exactly, fruit and honey. You can put a frog in there, and you're like, this is delicious and healthy.
Dude, that's disappointing.
here.
Have you had 800 degrees pizza?
No. 800?
See, we're
I've
just
heard
on
of
different
85
planets
degrees something. not
85? We can't cook pizza 85.
Yeah,
Step
that'd be
my-
funny.
hey, step in my
That'd be
office.
funny.
You're fucking
Hey,
fired.
Hey, 80-degree pizza. What? It's 80 degrees.
Yeah, you gotta figure out the rest.
It's warm to your mouth.
Dude, I was at the fucking Grove the other week, and some dude, there's like a little grass here where all the kids are at, and I have Tiger there, and he's just fucking running amok. I look over, this old dude, dressed pretty well. Eyes, I guess, were a little glassy. He's probably on the back nine of life, just visualizing kids and probably just try not to die. You know how life goes.
Sure.
I cannot make this up. This dude uncorks a frozen pizza and just starts going ham on it.
A frozen pizza. Oh, boy. I like
Staring
my
at my
pizza.
kid going,
I like my pizza.
"Akoosh." I'm
Fucking
like,
cold.
oh, yeah, serial killer on our hands. And my girl goes, why? I went, well, because he's an older gentleman in a cardigan, and he obviously dressed for the occasion.
Yep.
And he has a frozen pizza where did he just brought this and he's staring at the kids.
Yeah,
we should probably leave.
Yeah,
I took my son. We left.
Yeah, you wonder about
next thing you know, he's just fucking at the Grove. Just throwing fucking frozen pizzas.
Well, older
he's just
men,
waiting for someone to make fun of him.
They say that somebody sent me an article about older men, the guys my age, middle-aged men. The biggest,
he's way older.
The biggest, but the biggest threat is not for older men. Apparently, is not diabetes, not obesity.
No, it's falling down and breaking your goddamn hip.
Nope, it's guys who loneliness, because men my age, starting about 45, start kind of drifting away from their old friendships. They feel like they don't need them. For whatever reason, men will start to kind of like not keep up their old friendships. That'll never happen to me. I got my community. Yeah. But it's interesting because that's what happens to a lot of men.
What do you mean, though?
So, for whatever reason, of men...
You're saying when he gets older, like they don't...
45, and you just stop. You're busy. You're not really keeping in touch with your old buddies. You're not getting together as groups anymore. You're not having the laughs.
That'll kill you, man.
You all start drifting apart, and pretty soon you don't have
you don't get held accountable. You know what I'm saying?
Thing.
Like...
That's right.
Like, my dad doesn't listen to the show, but yeah. Like there's for guys, you need that group of other males who they're gonna bust your balls. They're gonna call you out on certain things.
Like the other night,
it's gonna sharpen the sword.
Yeah.
Oh, the other night so it was Will Sasso, Chris D'Elia, Stevie Blue Eyes, myself, Bryan, and we did our show and then we hung out after. Dude, I was laughing I needed that so bad because one of the most stressful times is buying this home, right? And I was so glad to do stand-up, get away. But the best part was just us hanging out. God. Chris D'Elia makes me laugh.
He's so funny. He's so
fucking hard.
He's so obnoxious.
As good as he is doing stand-up,
yes.
Outside of it, he's 10 times funnier.
Oh, my God.
And then Will...
Yeah,
was doing you know that bit on Saturday Night Live where Chris Farley goes like, "How's the fries, Janine? Geez, save some for me." He goes, "Lay off me, I'm starving." He was doing a voice like that because he's on a diet, and we ordered. Everyone ordered food.
My one voice.
Because we go, "Well, what do you eat?" And then he goes, "Well, I have one voice that says, don't eat carbs and eat the small fruit here and the salad and stuff like that." And there's another voice, and
he goes, "Well, one voice is telling me to eat just vegetables and protein, some good."
This fats, in front of everyone, the waiter,
fats.
everyone.
And he's so big, and he goes, "Just some good fats," and he's nibbling on some peppers, some peppers, some raw peppers. One voice tells me to eat these wonderful peppers and this nice salad. It's a small salad with some protein over here, but that voice is gonna lose.
Yeah, he does this voice gonna lose. It's loud. I was laughing so hard.
God damn it, man.
And Chris had me just fucking dying. Brian was talking, and he goes, Why you have the teeth of a pug?"
Pug mouth. He goes, "Yeah."
He does.
Yeah, and he does under his breath. He goes, "You have a pug mouth?" I go, "What?
Dude.
What?" He goes, "You have a pug mouth."
He goes, "You ever seen a pug, like a dog,
what's going on with your
a
teeth?"
pug?" And I'm like, "Oh my, that's the greatest reference of all time."
Pug mouth.
Pug mouth.
Pug mouth.
That's such a T-shirt. I went, you know, I'm gonna take that, right? He goes, "I know, I gave it to like you make fun of Brian's teeth." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
And the way he does it so insulting. He'll like, "Oh, but you're old,
dude." And then Brian was talking. We're at what's that place? Gallblatt's.
Greenblatt's, right next to the
Laugh Factory. And there's a old school picture from like 1950. And Brian's talking, saying something stupid. And Chris goes, "Why are you on the picture behind you?" We look, and it's a black and white picture, just old as
people
fuck,
from the 1700s, like
literally
old guys
just
with beards.
They kind of look like Brian.
It could be any of those guys could be you, though. And he's looking at it. I turn around,
dude. I need that so bad. I text all you guys when we got in my car.
Great.
I was like, "Oh, thank God for you guys."
Those are very good times when you text your buddies and you're like, "That was so fun." You need those moments. You have to work at it. Like everything else, you gotta maintain your relationships. Oh, speaking of maintaining relationships, I posted an Instagram video. My wife commented on it because I got busted because I told her I was going to work.
You liar.
And
you
I
liar.
work, and I ended up working out I was boxing with Wayne McCulloch, the great Wayne McCulloch. Shout out to Wayne McCulloch. And I'm end up boxing with him, and I post a thing like I go, "Dude, let's do a video game." Yeah. My wife is like, "You said you were working, busted." She got about 300 requests to be friends on Instagram. Now, I just want to say to all of you, and I want to apologize on her behalf. She's not going to be your friend. Here's why. Because I forbid it. Because forbid it.
She doesn't want that. Is her profile private?
It's private,
That's smart.
and she's like, and she goes, just tell everybody that I'm really sorry. I just, I go, oh no, don't worry.
No.
You're forbidden.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't have a choice anyway, because I run a tight ship. And so, guys, thank you so much for requesting to be friends with my wife. She's forbidden. All right, that's how it goes. Forbidden.
You don't want her on.
No, don't want her mixing in with all my social. Nah. He's forbidden. You stay low, prof.
You were kind of quiet this weekend, man.
Well, because I went up to way up into the
Just on Sunday,
mountains
though,
with my
right?
friend's house. Yeah.
What did you do on
What did I
Friday?
do? I don't know what I did. What was I doing? I was hanging with the kids. I spent a lot of time with
On
my
Friday
family.
and Saturday?
Yeah. My wife will give me. It was so funny. We should talk about this. My wife makes me a better man, and here's why. And I have to say this. She'll sit me down sometimes because I get in my own head, and she'll be like, hey, dude, you need to know something. I don't like that you're not present when you're in the house with your children.
Yeah.
And it's about time, put your phone down,
Yep.
be present. And I need to be reminded of that because I suck at that and because I get into my own head and there are no excuses. Be a father, be a husband, that's part of your responsibility. And she has to remind me of that. But I talked to Delia, who I go, listen, man, relationships are this way, man. My wife makes me a better man. She sat me down. She was like, I'm not happy with the way you're behaving. This week has sucked. You haven't been present and everything else. And Chris is like, and I figure Chris is going to be like, yeah, man, he's going to take a lesson from
Chris?
that. And Chris goes like this. Chris goes, yeah. Hey, why don't you just tell her to look around and say, you're welcome.
So, yeah.
You just go,
That's,
you're welcome.
Chris.
I'm like, Chris, that doesn't work in a marriage.
No, he's younger, dude. He's been married, divorced too.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah.
You know how every relationship is compromised, and I love when guys think like that's how you're going to run your marriage. Hey, look around. Say you're welcome.
Let me know how that works.
Look
out
around
for you.
now. You're welcome. I give you all this. That doesn't
No,
fly.
that doesn't fucking work.
That doesn't fly.
If you're the right girl, she doesn't give a fuck about those
No,
things.
your girl would fucking try that with her. See what happens. Women know how to.
Yeah, it gets weird.
They'll break your walls down.
I'm trying to think what the fuck we did this weekend, man.
You watched the fight, right? The boxing match. I heard you talking about it a little bit. Remember the last fight where someone got knocked out and it was for minutes and you brought it up on the show? And then you were kind of freaking out. You thought he was dead?
Yeah.
I saw this one too and I was like the same thing.
Lemieux? Yeah. Lemieux.
Against the Stevens?
Yeah. Do you have the highlight? Can you show Bryan?
I can find it.
Or
I saw.
You saw it on Rogan.
Okay.
Yeah. That was a great
Lemieux's
fight.
a killer.
Man. Super killer.
He's a killer.
People write him off because he lost. It's so stupid. They go, I post about the fact. He got manhandled by Triple G. I'm like, I know, I get it.
Before that, he was killing dudes.
No, it doesn't matter. He's killing dudes now. Triple G's the outlier there. He's still an amazing fighter, multi-time world champion.
Yeah.
Ridiculous fighter.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so into boxing right now, man. I just think it's such a great time for boxing. Triple G fights next weekend, pay-per-view, HBO pay-per-view, and then Chocolatito fights the same card. They always have those two.
He's not fighting. He fights
He has a tough fight coming up. I mean, that's for Triple G.
Right.
And so then you got, Triple G fighting. You got Chocolatito. They always put them on the same card because it's got the best two. You can interchange the best two pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to build both those guys. And I think, he has Jacobs, right?
Jacobs at Madison Square Garden. Mm-hmm. That's like last year or something.
No, that's the fight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the one coming up. It's in New York. Chocolatito's on the same card. And then you got Canelo versus Chavez, May 6th. So then who knows after that? Because let's say Triple G wins. Canelo wins.
Chavez, Cesar Chavez's son.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I wish it was Caesar.
That guy's an outlier, a bit of an outlier, because he grew up with a lot of money and a lot of privilege, and is way tougher than he should be, right?
No, I mean he's his dad.
Sure.
He has discipline issues. That's the biggest knock on him.
Yeah.
And that's obviously because the way he grew up.
Right.
Now he has the skill and the heart to be similar to his dad, but when you grow up,
it's hard.
But he has the skills. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to break that fight down, and that's some of the big news that I'll have. But I think, perfect fight for Canelo. Perfect fight for him.
How about Canelo? It's a little bit off, but if you had to put your money right now on Canelo, Gennady Golovkin.
I don't know. I don't know. I'll deal with it when it comes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll deal with it. Comes April has great boxing too. You got fucking Klitschko versus homeboy Anthony Joshua. Wow. That's a ridiculous fight, man.
That's going to be
and then Deontay Wilder, who just won, which I didn't think he looked amazing. I think if he fought any of the top 3 or 4 guys, he probably would have had an off night, meaning he would have lost. But then you got Deontay Wilder, who wants to fight the winner of that to merge the belts. That's the one thing I like. Not the one thing. I like a lot of things about Deontay Wilder, but he's one of those guys that he wants to merge the belts. He doesn't like that there's all these other heavyweight belts.
Is that because they're just different promoters that create their own?
WBO, WC, there's all that stuff. That's boxing.
Because I heard Golden Boy, I'm becoming senile. What is his name? Oh, my God.
Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah. De La Hoya was talking about how guys like Bob Arum and stuff are killing boxing because they just won't allow.
They don't help
the best
it.
fighters
They
to
don't.
fight.
And that's what makes the UFC so special. Is you're gonna get. Granted, there's a lot of the entertainment WME. Comes in and can kind of jungle things up, but that's what made the UFC so great. You're gonna get the best versus the best because it's the only show in town.
And don't you
they have to fight.
You feel like the UFC is just not doing their job in terms of promotion?
Yeah, they're not. They're the one of the best things that made the UFC was their social media game, because social media is so fucking important these days. If you're a comic, if you're a celebrity, if you're an athlete, that's your direct connection to the fans. Before, you had to have a publicist. Hopefully they give you the right interviews to reach this fan base. Now you have whatever. Let's say you're the UFC and you have 3 million followers. You have those people are on board with what you do, and they are going to see what you post. So you have a direct line to them. It's like calling every single one of them up going, hey, April 6th, we got this coming up. This is what's going on. Let's make you excited about it. They're basically car salesmen selling a car that you want to buy. So convince me to buy this fucking car. Sure. And they're getting away with what got them to the dance. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing what made them so special. Shonda, who ran the UFC, who's they let go, who was brilliant at it, and she had a lot of concepts and ideas, and she was so great at telling these stories and creating the hype around the fight. Now I look at it and it's not good, man. From the DC Rumble poster, that doesn't make me want to buy the fight, to a lot of things they post, like when Cody Garbrandt won and he, his amazing footwork, they go, hey, at Dancing with Stars, let's get him on there. Or it'll post a fight like, so excited for this weekend's fights, and it's just some bullshit like picture. Whoever's running that, it looks like it's an older person, or maybe it's a team that just isn't in tune with what the fuck the UFC represents. I can't emphasize enough how important that is, man. It's so important, and they're dropping the ball. Right. They just are.
It's fascinating.
They need to hire someone. They need to do someone who's in tune and has their fucking ear to the ground with the fans, what the fans want, and create this fucking visual experience that people that we're accustomed to. But now you can't let that fall off. You can't sign with Fox and have WME and then then the quality of the post get worse, and you're not telling the story of the fighters.
It's like a giant corporate entity has taken over.
Yeah,
and then
exactly
there isn't that passion.
And go, we're good.
Yeah, Dana White.
We're McDonald's now. We're good.
Running
fuck, man.
Yeah, Dana White would flip out, live and die by every decision he made. And emotional about it. Fuck this, but with that emotion came, more color and more direction. It seems. More,
he was very.
He's a great promoter.
And I'm not comparing myself to Dana White. I'm saying, like, with this, there's nothing that gets Finding the Kid, Big Brown Breakdown, anything we do. There's nothing that doesn't get passed by me. I go over everything.
Yeah.
Like on the show we did last night at the Comedy Store, they sent me a graphic out. I can't post this. They go, why? I went, this looks like shit. That's not the Comedy Store. Don't get to the Comedy Store didn't make that graphic. There was a promoter, and that was their graphic. I went, I can't post it. I'm gonna make my own. Then I'll post that. If you're cool with that, I'll post. They went, yeah, that's fine. I was like, what are you doing?
Right.
Do you hate ticket sales?
Right.
You also spelt my friend's name wrong. Like, really? I'm like, yes. And then she goes, that's not a big deal. I'm not the headliner. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You spell my name wrong, I'm probably not doing the show, man. Right. It's these little fucking details. It's like,
amateur.
Like I said,
amateur
it's JV shit.
Yeah.
You want to play with the big boys, present yourself like a big boy.
Yeah.
It's like these realtors I've been dealing with. I'm looking at nice houses. This realtor was 20 minutes late. 20 minutes late. She showed up, and my girl's like, no, we're fine. I went, no, we're going to go. And she goes, then why are we waiting? I went, oh, because I want to let her know what's going on here. So she pulls up, and she's been a nightmare to deal with. Sherry something out of Los Angeles. That's their. They've been
I know who
fucking
she is. I know
terrible,
exactly who she is.
terrible. That's not my realtor, but they were presenting this house to us. They've been so hard to work with, difficult, big timing us. That's whatever. Finally, we get a hold of them. They go, yes, we've been waiting. There's 2 houses we want to see. We're waiting. She's 20 minutes late. She shows up, and I just go, we're good. She goes, wait a minute. Their office is maybe half a block away. I went, 20 minutes late. She goes, yeah. I went, I have another showing here in 5 minutes I have to get to. I'm good. This is ridiculous. That was it was between that and another house. They were super close. I liked both of them. You didn't get the sale.
That's huge.
Because you're unprofessional.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing, man? It's the details.
Yeah.
It's too competitive.
My
it's like with the UFC. I promise you, there's going to be someone, there's that big Russian league. Bellator does things pretty well on social media. There's going to be someone who's going to take that fucking torch and run with it. And I know it's a weird comparison with realtors. You know how many fucking realtors there are in this world?
Yeah.
Realtors are like assholes. Anyone can be a realtor.
Jeffrey Tambor, you know, is the actor
Yes.
who's in everything, Emmy Award winning everything. He was my acting teacher for a long time. When he was winning Emmys, he would also teach an acting class, and he would do shit like this. We'd be 80 kids in this class, not kids, adults who were in LA trying to make it as actors, good actors, and he would always do shit like this. He goes, you know the word dilettante? Oh, he goes, look it up, and that would be his critique. And you have to go sit down. Dilettante meaning you're not serious. You're a dilettante. You are half-assing it. You're like, it's a hobby for you. Acting is a hobby. He goes, and you know what happens in this business?
Competing.
He goes, yeah. He goes, you know what happens? Because you're competing with me, whether you know it or not. You're competing with me, and you go out there and he goes, what they do in this business is you never know it. All they do is this. They go, oh, you're late. Oh, you're late. Oh, you're a little difficult to work with. Oh, you don't know your lines. You know, watch this. Ready? Next. That's what happens in your life. You don't hear it, but they just go, next. And when you, in any economy, acting, whatever, it's so competitive that if you're not on it, they don't say anything. They smile at you, next. And that'll happen to you. Before you know it, 20 years later, you don't have a fucking resume.
No, man.
So it didn't work out for you because you didn't pay attention to those details. And by the way, I paid a price for that too, my behavior. But I mean, I worked hard. But next, that's what happens. Bradley Cooper, as an example. Bradley Cooper would get the fucking script, but before he made it, I would remember this fucking guy. If he had an audition, the motherfucker would get his acting teacher and pay his acting teacher to work with him. Nobody does this. He'd get the script, he'd read the script, he'd break down the script, he'd have all his choices, he'd work on it. Then he'd get his acting teacher, Howard Fine, who has been teaching big actors from Sharon Stone to you name it for 30 years, a master teacher, and he would say, I need 3 hours of your time. Probably spend $5. He didn't have, at the time, he didn't even have money. $500.
Yeah.
3 hours, whatever it will
At
cost.
least
Whatever the fuck it costs.
$700,
Yeah,
yeah.
whatever it costs. 3 hours and he'd go over it. Who do you think would get the role? Oh, and by the way, good looking and tall and everything else, but other guys, who would get the role? That motherfucker.
Of course, but what people don't realize is you see the final product, right? Like you name anyone, Bradley Cooper, LeBron James, anyone who's the pinnacle of their sport or in entertainment, any comedian, Amy, for females, Amy Schumer, probably by far the biggest right now. Mm-hmm. For men, you look at Bill Burr or Rogan or D'Elia, you look at any of these guys and just go, oh yeah, but you don't see the fucking grind, the dedication, the work ethic. You just see that final product, but oh my God, man. If you saw how many kicks Wonder Boy throws just to prepare for that fight against Woodley, or you see how many hours Cain Velasquez spent in the training room or Verdum throwing triangles, it would blow your mind where you go, oh, that's not for me.
The amount
but
of
you
grind.
see the celebrity, you see him walking the cage, you see him with his hand raised, you see him doing photo shoots, you see Bradley Cooper, getting big for American Sniper. You didn't see him working with my boy Ben Bruno 7 times a week at 6 a.m. and then coming back in the afternoon to put on size just for that role, training harder than I was when I was in the middle of camp.
So burnt.
Oh, and then you didn't see him eating 7 times a day the same thing, chicken, broccoli. You see him
and going to bed early and never drinking.
Yeah. You see him on the big silver screen going, oh, I want to do that. Do you though?
How about
when
this?
You break down step by step the sacrifices they make.
So I go to Tetiora, which is this exclusive island in Tahiti. Bradley Cooper goes there a lot. Leonardo DiCaprio, and somebody said, "Oh, you must be friends with Bradley because you were on The Hangover." Yeah. And I said, did he have fun when he was here? And he said, well, he was going to do that movie Burnt. where he plays a chef. On his vacation, do you know what he was doing?
Cooking?
He was up at 4 a.m. and he was in the kitchen with the fucking famous French chef helping him, learning at 4 a.m. how to make croissants.
Jeez.
Like the way they do it. So when you make a croissant, it's one of the hardest things to do the way they make it because you have to layer.
Roll.
You layer the dough is paper thin and you put butter on each. It's so difficult. They say it's one of the harder things to do to master.
That croissant intelligentsia.
The motherfucker.
I'm not trying to sidetrack you. That croissant intelligentsia. The chocolate dip one.
Yeah.
Then have a matcha green tea dip one.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I'll punch myself in the dick for that thing. That's so good.
I might line just a fucking murder's row.
Knock your dick in the dirt.
Saturday.
Knock your
just
dick in the
fat
dirt.
shit.
Yeah.
Like at Susie Cakes, they have a cookie sandwich. I call it double dozen. It's 2 soft chocolate cookies with vanilla icing in the middle. Game changer. Back to Bradley Cooper.
And that's what. But to be an actor on your vacation, I'll be up at 4, right there with you, watching you make croissants because that's what it takes to be the actor I want to be in this movie.
No, my boy Ben Bruno, who he literally, you want to talk about a success story. He's just on Good Morning America, sharing his insights to working out and training, stuff like that. He's a guy who started at this gym when I first came to LA. We got connected by a mutual friend, Lauren Landau. He goes, this guy's really good. He came from Boston. He worked with some of the Patriots in Boston. Now he just moved to LA. He's training out of a gym. They weren't treating him right. I'm like, dude, invest in yourself. Do your own fucking thing. You're the engine behind this thing. Just do your own thing. Look at the vision. It's going to be scary. Do your own thing. He left. I can't think of a bigger trainer in LA right now.
Really?
Or really, I mean, there's guys who work with athletes, but as far as his roster of celebrities, he might be the biggest trainer in the world right now. And he's just on Good Morning America. He's in New York right now on movie set working with someone. You look at the lineup of just, I'm literally at the A-list because he's so good. He's so personal. He puts time into it. And I'm talking to him because we haven't worked out together in like a month or two, but we'd go at least once a month and work, and we usually do deadlifts. That's his thing. And he works with all these guys. At Ben Bruno, I think, on Twitter or Instagram, you see who he works with. And I go, is there a common denominator? Because he works with all these guys, right? And he goes, yeah, everyone just busts their ass. Like, there's no one who I have to harp on. Yeah. There's no one who I'm like, hey, make sure you're here at Friday at 8. He goes, between you as when you were fighting or, and then to Bradley Cooper, to freaking the guy from the Big Bang Theory show, to these swimsuit models they works with, all these actors. He goes, everyone here just does work. Yeah. Like their work ethic is crazy.
Details.
Yeah. And he's like, you can see why these people are successful. He was Casey Affleck's guy forever.
Yep.
He's like, he would grind his ass away in here, man, and just do work. Ben Affleck. Matt Damon. Literally, he's just like, these guys come in and they approach it the same way they approach whether they have a role, whatever they're doing. He's like, there's no shortcuts. He's like, they're the best to work with, man. He's like, just because the way they approach everything. And he goes, I can usually tell like how a person's career is going or just how they're doing by even the way they approach their workouts in here. He goes, no one cancels. No one shows up late.
Right.
No one makes excuses. They do fucking work. He goes, they do work like I'm training a professional athlete. It's cool, man. He goes, it's a very common denominator.
And you got to just figure out a way to make it fun. I think a lot of it comes from being really honest with yourself on what you want. Like you don't have to get into the goal thing and making these big like lists, but I think that if you really ask yourself what you really want, like what do you really want, keep that in your mind.
I don't know about that. Just show the fuck up.
No,
take it day by day. I disagree.
No, but you have to have your eye on the prize. Like so I don't know how I would just motivate myself.
No, does working out make you feel good?
Get back to the
go
why.
Work out.
But get back to the why.
Don't overthink it. I have to this huge goal. I got to lose weight.
If that
show
worked,
up. Working out makes you feel good.
Yeah, but the problem is that so does eating a pizza sometimes in the short run. So unfortunately,
doesn't really the same endorphins, and you're not going to feel good.
Yeah, but if you only go by the pleasure principle, I feel like that doesn't work. And I agree that you want to. Like I always say. Like I was saying to my father, when you feel the difference of being in shape versus not, you're going to kind of move toward that because you feel better. But I think the problem with that sometimes is people get sidetracked with the fact that you can also find pleasure in things that aren't good for you. And so I think that
that'd be a discipline
issue. That long-term discipline, like long-term sort of focus comes from kind of having direction and moving toward what you visualize yourself being eventually. That, at least for me, works.
Yeah,
I got to keep myself, that's where I got to keep myself. Like I always keep the finished product in my brain. And then I find myself moving toward that direction.
I think that's such a beast to define yourself on a finished product. I think it's so overwhelming. That's like going, I'm going to hike up some stairs. And they go, you want to hike up stairs? Go do Everest. You're like, Jesus Christ.
No. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying, though. So what I'm saying is that you can also kind of in your mind's eye figure out what you want to accomplish. So if I'm sure actors like, well, it's not like I want to win an Oscar because there's so many moving parts. But you can visualize yourself surprising the shit out of yourself doing the role of a lifetime. You know, there are a lot of things like that where people like that have a direction.
I'm just saying, as far as working out being, and you're talking to actors, I'm just saying if you can go, all right, workout is healthy, makes me feel good. I don't have to look at it like it's life changing. I'm going to lose weight. Goals. No, just show the fuck up. Just show the fuck up. Act like it's something you have to do. If you want to live longer, you want to live healthy, just show up. Hire a trainer, just show up, get to the gym.
Yeah.
You don't have to, don't make it this big grand thing and what you want, the finished product and all that, because the answer is there's no finished product. You're always working away at this.
Right. It's a verb, but
don't make it a bigger deal than it is. Don't look and read books on why am I doing this, all that stuff. Just go to the gym.
I always like to get to the why of why are you doing this? Because sometimes with stand-up too, you can get immune and inoculated to the attention, even to the laughs. So you got to sometimes remind yourself of, you got to get back to the why. Why am I doing this? What am I really after? It's not the adulation. It's not the public embrace. It's to surprise myself. It's to try to be original. So that helps me, at least. I got to get back to the why. Like I isolate why. Maybe I'm
not trying to do the inspirational shit either. I'm just saying, just show up to the gym. That's it, man.
Yeah.
You got some current events, Jen?
I do.
Let's do some current events. Yeah.
All right, let's start with this one. It's a little, I don't know, controversial. So,
the
Michael Brown case, there's new footage that came out because someone came out with a new documentary, and it shows footage of Michael Brown coming to the same liquor store where he was, apparently robbing the liquor store guy.
Uh-huh.
He's coming back to what seems like pick up something that he left there in the morning, which is kind of, I don't know, it's a little weird. So in the video, he basically, this is like earlier in the day. In the video, he takes something out of his pocket, puts it on the counter, and then the guys that work at the liquor store look at it, smell it, and then they give him like this 3 boxes of what are called cigarellos. Have you heard of cigarellos before?
Like boxes?
Boxes of like, I still don't know what a cigarello is, but I'm guessing it's like, cigarette wrapping stuff, whatever for weed. Yes. So they give it to him.
Papers, basically.
Possibly, yeah. And then, so they give him the 3 boxes, and then he starts walking out, and then he turns right back. You can see him kind of looking back at the liquor store owners, and he comes back, and they take it back, and they put it behind the counter. And then Michael leaves. And then, like, hours later, that's when he comes back to the liquor store, and then they get into that altercation. So people are saying that was probably his merchandise that he left there for safekeeping and then came back and they didn't want to give it to him. So that's why he got into like an argument and a fight with them.
Oh, wow.
Not necessarily robbing them, but there's no evidence to show it. It's just all through this video. The thing that's crazy about this video is the police didn't release it. So they got this from whoever the documentary filmmaker was. He's the one that found this video.
So this is the store he ended up getting killed in.
No. So he was at this store previously to getting killed.
Yep.
And he was like, it looked like he was trying to rob the owner and like being like a bully.
A bully. But he was known as a bully.
Yeah.
From that's the thing that, and I'm not defending what the cops did to him. That's what he was a big boy, but they were saying he was known as like a bully in the neighborhood. Not that he should have been shot or killed or anything like that. I'm just saying he had a kind of a weird reputation.
Yeah. This is interesting because
I heard he was 6 foot.
They didn't show this video. You know what I mean? Like this would have changed people's minds about that whole robbery thing.
Well, let me see.
Because that's what the cops kind of hung their hat on. Like, oh, he's robbing this guy. Like, look how bad of a kid he is.
Yeah, I'll show you a little bit of it here.
To make an exchange.
So that's him putting something onto the counter.
You can see a trade is made. Mike gives the store a little bag.
And then the store owners have those boxes of cigarellos. They look at that item, smell it,
some type of exchange for
This is from the
money
documentary?
or-
Yeah,
We
from
won't
the
be able to show this, will we?
that these
That's the
people
problem. That's why I don't
No.
like playing
know
clips
Yeah,
so
we're good.
much.
Okay.
You can stop it, brother.
Okay.
So it looked like there was weed or something, or
It looked like it was weed. They think it was weed.
that he was selling to those guys. Maybe.
Yeah, and that
Okay.
was like an exchange for those boxes of
And he was going
cigarettes.
to come back and maybe get it.
So he was going to turn around like, well, you guys keep it for now. And then when he tried to pick it up, he got into a little struggle with them. But no one knows. So,
Oh man, I don't know.
but it's causing a huge uproar.
People are pissed
Yeah,
at the cops
they're
that
causing
released
protests
this, and they
and
made
stuff.
them. You know, same when people got mad when Time Magazine with O.J. Simpson. Remember when they released the mugshot and they darkened him, looked blacker.
yeah.
Oh, shit. Did they?
Yeah. You,
Yeah.
you see the original. It's Mike. It's OJ. We know how he looks, but they made it so he looked black, so it's more like a criminal.
Intentionally to make it look-
Intentionally, yeah, like that filter on Instagram back then. They did that shit, made him look more colored. So same thing with this. Like they're telling one narrative, they're not releasing all the stories because we're like, oh, he's terrible. Look at him fuck up these people.
They're trying to influence you,
Yeah,
yeah.
in the convenience store. Like we're good. Listen, he was a bad dude. Yeah, doesn't bring the kid
But does
back.
this make him look? This video make him look guiltier or less?
Makes the
guilty?
cops
It makes
look
look
worse.
it makes it look the cops are trying to influence you into thinking otherwise. Like he wasn't that bad of a kid or whatever. But so it doesn't explain what happened with him and the cop, why they got into a struggle and he
What's the
shot him.
documentary called? I'm always down for a good doc.
Stranger Fruit.
Is it on?
Yeah, I'm not even
Strange
sure if
fruit.
it's
You know,
out
so
yet.
you know what strange fruit is?
No.
So strange fruit was what they would do. It's a terrible thing, but think about it. And it was an amazing song by Billie Holiday, not written by her, but strange fruit was what a black man looked like hanging from a tree in the
Jesus
South.
Christ.
Damn.
And so when you were black and you were in a town, you would say things like, "I started to feel like strange fruit." And everybody should listen to the song "Strange Fruit" because it's haunting, and that's what you look like hanging from the poplar trees in the bucolic South. The lyrics are the bulging eyes and the twisted mouth, and she paints this really bucolic setting. But then there's strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees, and that was a reality, man.
Jesus
I started to
Christ.
feel like strange fruit.
I was
And you
like,
would
I
hear
didn't know
that.
why they named
Yeah.
it Stranger Fruit.
And that's
but
where
totally
the
makes sense.
expression comes from.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It sure is.
Down to watch that doc though.
Yeah, I think it's just in the festival circuit right now. I think, but I'm sure it's going to come out soon.
Mm-hmm.
What else you got, Jen?
All right, I don't know sports, so at least I don't know football. But do you guys know Ezekiel Elliott?
Sure do. Best led the league in rushing his rookie year. I think he didn't win rookie of the year. Prescott did. Makes sense. But so he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. He had a
Running back for
domestic
the
violence
Cowboys.
case where they looked into. Didn't happen. He went to Ohio State. Phenomenal running back there. And I think I know what you're going to show.
Ezekiel comes from where, guys?
I don't know.
The Old Testament.
Ezekiel bread.
The Old Testament. There you go.
Oh.
Ezekiel.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yesterday was St. Patty's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, was it?
Wasn't it yesterday?
No, it's the 17th.
Yeah.
It's the day
Oh,
before
okay.
my
Well, this
birthday.
is a St. Patty's party. I thought it was yesterday.
Oh, no, he exposed a woman's bare breast. Oh, my God.
Well, no,
Well-
that's a big deal. Did
well,
he
then after you
grab
said
her
this
fucking
thing-
shirt and yank it down?
So I'll
Or
show
is
you
it a party
little
and
bit of
she's
it.
just being, you know?
Well, no. So she was kind of pointing to her boobs because I guess there's people on, the audience.
Is this Mardi Gras?
St. Patty's.
I know, but
Oh.
is he in New Orleans? Because they're throwing beads. Like it's like
It's in Dallas. It says.
well, definitely not Mardi Gras. Okay,
yeah.
carry on.
And it's a roof on a Dallas bar.
okay. Yep, you definitely can do that. Well, let's see what he does though. Let me see the context of it.
All right. She's kind of pointing at her boobs, and then he just goes boom and pulls it down.
He's
But
being a
that's-
22-year-old
Whatever.
numbnuts. Not a bad guy.
No.
He just, that girl's, someone's like, pull out your tits. She's like, yeah, should I? And he's drunk being like, yeah, you should. Boom. Now, don't grab her by the pussy. And if you're the leading running back in the league, probably don't do that,
Yeah.
especially when you're just coming off a domestic violence case, which they didn't find evidence of, but this isn't helping your fucking case,
Young guy.
He's a
NFL's
young guy. How old
strict.
is he again? Early 20s?
22 or 23.
Not the end of the world.
All right.
Not the end of the world.
We give a lot of guys free passes though, but when you in his case, for sure be smarter though, man.
And he has a bunch of eyeballs on him. He's a cowboy, right?
Well, do you know the story about homeboy from Oklahoma? His last name starts with an M, but have you seen this guy?
No.
So he ran a 4.4 in the 40. He ran like a 4.42 freak. But in college at University of Oklahoma, he's top 5 running backs in the nation. He entered a restaurant in Oklahoma. This white girl started calling him names, called him the N-word, got in his face, slapped him.
Oh, Jesus
You haven't seen
Christ.
this?
No.
He hits her with a right hand like fucking Mark Hunt.
Okay.
Knocks her out. Her head hits the table. He's suspended for the year, misses the entire year.
But she slapped him and called him the N-word and was assaulting him, right? I mean,
Can't punch a girl in the face, Brian.
you can't punch a girl in the face, but
That's frowned upon.
I understand, but
Can't break a girl's jaw.
Yeah, that's
as a
a pro-
man.
that's a problem.
Don't defend this.
That's a problem.
Please don't. Please don't.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
But okay,
You can defend yourself and not knock her out. You
Yeah.
could. You're also
cops.
6'3", 220 pounds.
Yeah, call the cops.
Call the cops?
Call the cops.
She's stupid for slapping him, but he should have
She's
just
an
called
asshole.
the cops.
She's a fucking moron.
she's a fucking
Didn't deserve to get punched
asshole.
in the face. No girl ever. You can't hit.
Well, you
women.
can say the same
There's
thing about
never,
even a guy.
ever,
Even a guy, like unless you feel like your life is threatened, you're going to lose that case, right? So what you want to do, you know, cameras are on you.
Well, no, different. If it would be self-defense if it was a guy.
Yeah,
Because if a guy did that to him, he punched him, he wouldn't get suspended for the season. It'd be self-defense. A girl does that, it's not self-defense.
if
is it?
if the guy slaps you in the face, right, as opposed to punches you, like slaps you, boom, like
hit
that.
you in the face. Let's say
Yeah.
hit you in the face.
Yeah. I would suggest that, yes, you can haul off and punch him when you're 6'3". You'll get it. You're not thinking this way because you're probably so furious, but you're going to get a lot more out of stepping away. You're threatening me. It's all on video. Now you get to sue them for assault, or you get to fucking ruin their reputation. You called me the N-word, so you're a piece of shit, and also you hit me. And
This
I
is
walked
just
in minding my own
this just a
business, right?
random dude,
Yeah.
but it doesn't work that way. Like in the motions of a fight,
But he punched
especially
her-
a young Oklahoma star running back. It just it's unrealistic.
doesn't work, yeah,
No, I love when people say it doesn't work that way. So it would have been self-defense, and he wouldn't have got suspended. He would still be in the first round. He still might get drafted late in the first round, early second round, or they think he drops to the fifth round because it's a PR nightmare for teams. But look up the video. Oklahoma running back hits girl. It's tough to watch. And if you just look, remember with Ray Rice, remember when he
Yeah, I remember
knocked
that
his girlfriend
shit.
out
Yeah.
or wife now? Well, remember when they told us about it? You're like, fuck, he's still, Pro Bowl running back. Then we see the video. It's like, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
It's so weird when you see it visually. Yeah, there you go.
Is there a
Why-
short
do we
video?
know-
Yeah,
why-
Mixon. Go up top.
Do we know why she did
Scar.
this?
Let me look and see if I could find a real quick video. So, white girl walks into a restaurant.
What, was she drunk?
She
She looks
looks
like she's
very
already
drunk right
behaving
here.
erratically.
Well, yeah, it's 2:40 a.m.
Oh, so she pushes him, slaps him, and then he hits her. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say this about that. Did you see how quickly that was? That was his impulse, right? Like you're talking about a young man. I don't know what happened. I have no idea.
She pushed him and hit him.
Yeah, she pushed him and hit him. Now, were they dating?
No.
But he was right there with her. What's the
she-
story there?
We don't-
Did they
I-
know
I-
each
I don't
other?
know the exact
Because
story.
you know what that looked like to me. It was so quick. That looked like he got hit, and because he's an instinctive, impulsive young man, he just swung.
Yeah.
And we've all done shit like that, and he's so powerful where you swing and hit, and you have immediately regret, right? But this is impulse. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in
Here-
my
here
opinion,
it says Joe Mixon, Amelia Moulter, what the media is desperately hiding. Or TMZ Sports, cops tell her side of the story. It'd be interesting to hear what her side is.
But that was very quick.
Yeah, it was super instinctive.
Version is that they're walking down the sidewalk. They run into some people. They don't even describe you all as football players or athletes at this point. They begin getting harassed. Mia's explanation of the harassment is it's because her friend is gay and that they're being vulgar and disrespectful outside. They come inside to get away from all of that. She's upset by it, and I think you can see, even in the video, it looks like she's wiping tears out of her eyes right as she rounds the corner of the table and stands at the table.
So they
The
call
bad
her friend
guy.
gay.
So no,
Well, we
so-
don't know. That's her version, right? Let's be careful because
Yeah.
we don't know yet.
And
But,
off the street and continue to harass them.
Did she tell you who she was waving in?
She was waving at me.
Somebody else has to do that right here. You're continuing to harass him. He is moving away from you because he's intimidated. He's scared. He never turns to say a word to you. You two don't have any conversation. that instant where you move towards him and then go to leave is when you uttered the word faggot. She became enraged. She got up and pushed you.
She's defending her friend.
When she gets up, you stop heading towards the door. You turn to face her and actually take half a step towards her. So you two meet.
Hey, just so we're clear, and I don't mean to cut you off, he didn't say nigger to you, correct?
No, he said
you
it.
heard him say it about
Yeah.
you to somebody at the table.
Which would have been David Smith or...
This is amazing how they break this shit down, man. Who cops know how to break shit down?
God, it makes mixing look way worse.
Yeah, it does.
Doesn't know them.
She had to get, you can stop it, Chin, because she was a gay friend. They kept harassing the gay friend, calling him the F word, and then they go into a restaurant to stop getting harassed. He follows them in there, keeps calling him the F word. She sticks up for his friend, going, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Knocks her
slaps
out.
her, and then he knocks her out.
That's very damning. From what if that's true, and that you see how these cops break shit down, detail to detail, where they're looking for justice. You got to. If that's true, and I'm not a cop, and I'm not looking at the video, but if that's true, then to me, you piece of shit.
No, he's a piece of shit regardless of the story.
And fuck you for doing that, for being a bully. You hit a girl, you're calling the guy the F word.
So here's the thing.
You're a shithead.
Talk about second chances. So
boy, that makes me mad.
So let's talk about this.
That's a bully. I hate a fucking bully.
Well, so here's a bully, but so he missed the entire year of football, Oklahoma.
Okay.
Right? So he'd been a first round draft pick, hands down, probably top 10, top 15 if he didn't do this. He's not going to be that anymore. He missed the entire year of college football. You can't make up.
Okay.
Is that enough discipline?
I don't. You would speak. You could speak more to that as a guy who understands what the stakes are and what it takes.
That's a lot of stuff. I mean, that's just. You don't have to be balls deep in football.
Here's what I would say. Do
you take away his rights to play football for life?
Nope. Here's what I would say. I would say that this young man behaved in a fucking atrocious manner. He is a young man. I believe in second chances. I believe in making amends. I believe in that. I don't believe in condemning somebody to life for being like you did a really shithead behavior. You were a shithead. Okay. You did bad stuff. It doesn't mean your entire persona is bad. It means you have some problems that need to be addressed. You paid a price by not being able to play football for an entire year. I think that's appropriate. I also think that the other price you paid is probably going to be a lawsuit, and you fell in the draft. I personally,
millions of dollars.
I personally am willing to say if that again, it's not my call, but I think he's paid a large price for this. He's going to pay even more of a price. It's going to follow him a little bit. Doesn't mean he can't play in the NFL for the rest of his life. I think that's a little extreme.
You can define him by that.
I hope that I would say to this kid, my friend, you paid a big price.
Well, he's on a short leash too, short rope.
And I would say, you better grow from this. You better fucking learn from this, and you better be a better person.
So if you're a GM of a team, would you draft him? Because you know you're gonna have because this is the thing. A lot of teams like you. I don't think you see like a New England take him something like that. But you're going to have to take on that PR nightmare.
I would.
Hold on. You invested in a womanizer? Like a guy, there's video of him doing this.
But I would draft him, but here's what I would do is I would say, look, we need to change your mind and your understanding about certain things. And this is how you do it with human beings. You don't say you're a piece of shit and you're irredeemable. Okay. What you do is you say you're a young man who's ignorant, and you're ignorant about your actions. You're ignorant about how damaging your words are.
Remember,
to somebody
this
who's
was
gay.
over a year ago.
Okay, yeah.
Like he sat out an entire season. But he's been through all this.
I know.
Already.
So what matters is how much did you learn from this? Are you a better person as a result of this? And do you understand the ramifications of your actions?
He's also crazy talent.
Right, but what I'm saying is, I would draft him, and I'd say you're a young man who deserves a second chance. But fucking learn from this. And if I'm going to draft you, I might just have to sit you down and explain to you why this was shitty.
Which they will. Trust me, they will.
And as he grows and he matures, you and I know we were all assholes. I did asshole things as a young man that I would never do now. And you grow, and hopefully you grow up.
The problem is him being bullying the F word stuff. That is
It
tough.
sucks. It sucks. It makes me not very sympathetic.
He's definitely paid the price, you know?
Yeah.
You know, when you were saying the story, I had already thought like, oh, I kind of see what's going on, what's happening. And then I saw the video, and I'm immediately thinking she's drunk, right?
Yeah.
And being a jerk.
Yeah.
And then we watch another video with the cop, and he's telling us all
that's
these.
why you have
this new
professionals.
information.
You need both sides.
That's why
It's
you have
crazy how
professionals
much-
who are police officers who can break shit down, get you in a room when you're calm, and start talking to you.
This is where Joe Mixon's fucking up, though. Whenever he does interviews or he talks to teams, he just goes, "It's in the past. I don't want to address it." I think you would attack it fucking head on,
agree.
and you take all comers. You debate with everyone. That's the only way you're gonna get over this and pass this.
I agree,
But go
Brandon.
on. It's in the past. I've already talked about it. I've dealt with it. Whoa. No, sir. You punched an innocent girl in the face, and then you're obviously homophobic. So we need no. It's not in the past. I know you took these class shit like that. I want to hear from you, motherfucker.
It's not even homophobic.
Before we invest all this money in you.
Yeah.
And remember, our PR team doesn't want to draft you because it's a nightmare for them because you're a bad fucking guy.
You followed them
so
into the
please,
restaurant.
you need to address this head on. I want you on First Take. I want you on fucking Sports Center. I want you on Fox Sports Live, all this stuff. And all you're going to do is talk about this.
Yeah. And again, you're right. I mean, you got to remember, there's a big difference here. You followed that guy into the restaurant. You're a giant man.
They were trying to get away
You're
from
a giant motherfucker who is physically superior to most people on the planet. And you bullied your way into that restaurant and wouldn't stop. And then we're calling him a fag or faggot. And we're in his face. What? And then his girl valiantly goes, "You better stop," gets in your face, slaps you, and then you deck her. You know, you got to pay the price for that. And I don't think it's a lifetime ban from the thing that you love that's going to earn you money.
No, it's cost him. He's already suffered $1 million, and I think he'll get drafted. Man, at best case, late first. I think he'll probably get drafted sometime in the second round because he's such a freak. He's
Learn
lucky.
your lesson.
He's a freak. And at worst case, I think he gets like 4th or 5th round.
I'd like to hear Stephen A. Smith's take on that. I'm sure he's got something.
Not
to say.
on this show. Yeah.
Yeah.
What else you got, Chin?
Good stuff.
All right, this is a double knockout. You know, these rarely happen.
It's funny when they do.
Something that's crazy about this
Was it was it hooks? It's usually
I was
two
going to
hooks.
say, I was going
Yeah,
to guess that
exactly.
somebody, it was two
Usually
hooks and he
hooks.
didn't have
They
his
look
hand
like
up.
hooks. They look like hooks.
Well,
but
no
then,
shit. Neither one had their hand up.
Yeah.
Because they both got knocked
Well,
out.
no,
no,
but
but that's
usually
the
it's
thing.
two left hooks.
So that's the
They
thing.
both have their hands up?
No, someone actually wins this fight, and I want to know if you guys knew this rule. I didn't know about this rule, but
I
I'll
bet
just
it's
show
the
you
guy who gets
the
it first.
KO real quick.
Oh!
Double knockout. They're both down, right? So one guy stands up, and because of that,
Yep.
he wins the fight.
Correct.
That's fair.
I didn't know that. I thought
Yeah.
if double knockout meant you're knocked out.
No. Because you're both concussed, right? And then one guy could potentially go, like, can kind of get his shit together and stand up, and the other guy's flat out. And I did know that. That
What
sucks.
if the ref jumped in right when that happened and was like, boom?
Pretty smart ref not to. But it's like, it's whoever. It's weird, right? The good thing is this is such an outlying, exception.
Yeah, it doesn't happen
that you don't
often.
really have to deal with it too much. But yeah, there's
wild.
really no winner here.
Yeah.
It's funny though.
Jesus.
So rare when this happens. What else you got, Chin?
All right. So I thought this was just funny. I don't know why. So Game of Thrones has a new actor coming along, I guess for a guest role, and it's Ed Sheeran.
What?
I don't know why that's funny to me. Is it funny to you at all? Is
It's
it
just
me?
it's just a weird. There's someone else I feel like doing Game of Thrones that I heard too.
They said they had someone from Coldplay on the last.
I know.
But I don't know
I
anyone
know
from Coldplay.
Connor was gonna do it. He got offered, turned
He'd
it
be
down.
great for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But see, I wouldn't
turned
laugh
it
at that
down
at all. It seems perfect. For some reason, I find this really funny.
Well, he's not. Maybe he's a traveling squire. Maybe he's like your
He's like
minstrel.
a hobbit.
He's
I
a
think.
minstrel. He's a
I
traveling
can see him
minstrel.
like Lord of the Rings, like being one of the hobbits.
Or he just the guy who the king pays to follow behind him and sing a song about my. You're my king. You're my king.
you
you're
want to
the
talk about a
best king.
talented dude and a panty dropper? I mean, he looks like Schmiegel with red hair,
But he can
with
sing, he
glasses.
can sing.
That motherfucker is so talented.
You're my king,
It's not
you're
even
my king.
funny.
Yeah, I love
He's
the way he
so
sings.
talented.
Game of Thrones. You're the real king.
He's a beast, man.
You're going to win the battle.
You look at some of the girls he's hooked up with. You're like, God, good for you, man. That guitar has done wonders.
Hell yes, it has.
Killing the
And
game.
his song was a almost complete copy of that one song, "Let's Get It On." Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On."
Yeah.
Let's Get It On. The one that was his huge hit.
Yeah.
But he never got sued for it at all. I don't
didn't
know
know
why. But then other songs that are sort of similar to a Marvin Gaye song,
Yeah.
like Pharrell's, That one got sued and
Really?
they won. Yeah.
Weird.
Marvin Gaye was a beast.
That's
yeah.
So you're saying his newest song, the one about like the body song?
Yeah, no. What the hell is that then? I sang this song too. What the hell am I singing? When your legs don't.
Oh wow, yeah.
What's it called?
Yeah.
I know what you're
Great
talking
song.
about. Yeah, it's this huge hit.
Hey, do you know?
Darling, you.
Yes. What is it called?
Darling, you. 17. I have a really good voice.
How can you not
Do you know
sing after all these years?
I never took singing. I did in theater school, but I decided I wasn't a good singer. Hey, do you know how Marvin Gaye died? 10
No.
points? Fuck, this is so fucked up.
Marvin Gaye,
Yeah.
he got shot.
The genius, the great
He got
genius.
shot.
By who?
Was his manager
No,
or girlfriend? Who was it?
his dad.
That's
my
right.
God.
That's right.
His own father shot him.
That's
Why?
right.
An argument. I think it was over money or something. His own father shot him.
How crazy is that?
Man, oh man.
It's
The
called
great- the
Thinking
great
Out Loud.
Marvin
It just
Gaye.
came to me. The song Thinking Out Loud.
Ba-boom.
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to download that. I want to listen to him now.
Yeah, it's
Pretend
really
I sing like him.
What else you got, Chin?
good. You want one more?
Da-da-da!
Sure.
All right. Did you know that Cristiano Ronaldo has one son right now? But did you know it's through a surrogate?
No, I
mother?
didn't know
Did
that.
hear
His
that.
son?
Yeah. So he's like a 7. I think he's 7 or something
Yeah.
right now. It was through a surrogate mother.
Wow.
And he's expecting twins through another surrogate mother.
Yeah.
And he has a girlfriend. He was dating at the time. He had his other kid, I think, as well.
There's always been some rumors about.
What do you think that is?
Cristiano.
Yeah. Why do you
Why
think
doesn't
that
he do it
is?
himself?
Well,
And he's dating someone now, but he's
He always
having
has a hot girl. There's been, it's been like the way the dick tastes rumors.
what rumor
There's
are you
been a
talking
little bit of, I like the way the dick tastes.
a lot of rumors about him being
Because that is very strange. Like, why not just do it yourself?
I always
Get on up there,
Yeah,
son.
I always find it. I'm always like, that's interesting. He very well may be, but I don't know. Who knows?
He was tied to Badahari too in some crazy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Not crazy, but you would never expect those two to be dating or whatever.
Well, and I hope they are. I mean, you talk about two studs, but
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, not,
I mean, but I just
It's
love.
just tough
I would
to
love
take
that the
down.
two fucking baddest athletes. Badahari. How great!
he's the
would that be?
scariest one too.
Oh my god.
I mean, yeah. But I'll tell you right now who's the bottom.
Yeah.
But Harry is fucking Ronaldo in
Yes,
that
he is.
ass.
Yeah. 100%.
And then Ronaldo swallowing the gravy.
Man, I want to keep this to be just for once a family show, man.
All right. I'm just saying,
And don't call it
Ronaldo's pretty
gravy.
face.
Don't call it gravy, bro.
He busted on his face.
Okay, bro. Hey, man, a little respect for the
Well,
greatest
Harry's-
fucking soccer player of all time. A little respect.
K1ing his face.
I got it, bro. I get what you're saying. Like, it's not. I didn't lose.
No. But he's giving him the Morocco mint treatment.
I didn't lose the metaphor at first when he's swallowing the gravy. Like I put two and two together. I'm not a mathematician.
I don't know.
I'm not a high mathematician,
right,
but
I'm
I
just
put
checking.
it together and I figured
I was
out
checking.
what you were saying.
With those
so I don't need more
smooth
clarity.
hands.
That's like
there's
saying
only one guy rocking the cup.
that's like the guy who's the single entendre guy. I'm gay, as in I'm going to put my dick in his butt, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I do. I do.
Yeah, I didn't need you to
Yeah,
give
as
that.
in I'm going to put it in there. Yeah, if you know what I mean.
That is
Yeah, I
strange.
get it. I
Good
get
for
it.
him, though.
I fuck guys, if you know what I mean.
Definitely do.
As in I put this in there. Yeah, I get it.
Yes.
I get it. We get it.
Is that it, Chin?
That's it.
Those are good, man.
Da-da-da. I got to drop some knowledge for us. Now, it's fascinating, actually. Do you know that certain companies, especially like airlines, and one in particular, Southwest Airline, the way they
least
avoid like their planes taking off later than they should, the way they avoid their planes arriving later and all that stuff, the way they organize at some airports movement of their passengers, like where their passengers go. Do you know what they study? What animal they study? They study a certain creature to mimic the way their company
Traffic,
should be
you mean?
organized.
Ants.
Ants, sir. Ants, you motherfucker. You stud. Ants. Because ants have, and birds and schools of fish have what's called swarm intelligence. And so and we're building robots according to that. And it's kind of fascinating because there's no leader in those groups. There's no leader. So when you watch a flock of birds fly in patterns, and you watch schools of fish when a predator shows up, or even like wildebeest or caribou when a wolf shows up, it'll look like a blanket's unfolding. Well, they just start to run. And nobody is leading the way, but they confuse the animal. They confuse the predator. The sardines will confuse the tuna fish coming in to bite them. Or birds can do the same thing. And what it is that the way it works is on three basically principles. You are next to the person that you're flying next to, or you're swimming or whatever. And the way you do it is the rule is don't crowd them out, stay with them, and
you're a team.
You're a team.
Yeah.
So you only pay attention to whoever is right next to you, and essentially you give them space, you follow their lead as well, you do what they're doing. And the collective sort of hive intelligence, it's kind of the wisdom of crowds, that collective movement somehow is really effective at not only evading predators, but also finding the best route. So ants will do incredible things where they'll find the best route for foraging, for finding food and finding a home, and they'll lay pheromones. And you can kind of create algorithms for how to move and how to move populations. Your
I still
passengers,
think we should get
right?
an ant farm in here.
Well, we should, but bees do something amazing too. Like they'll do the same thing. Bees are fucking fascinating. Well, they took 6 hives, and one hive was perfect. The other hives were just a little too small. And usually colonies are about 50,000 bees. When they get more than that, they'll break apart.
A lot of bees.
Yeah, a queen will go away with it. They'll find another home. But what they'll do is the scout bees will go out and they'll find the hives. And usually when it gets to be about 15 scouts, they'll go, all right, guys, they'll look at it, they'll measure it somehow they measure it. They figure out how big it can be. They fly back to the hive and they start doing a dance. And depending on how enthusiastic the dance is, people go, okay, these guys know where to go. And then they'll follow the scouts to the new home. Here's the thing. You got 6 different hives to choose from. The scouts from the one that was perfect, they come back and they start dancing, and this is 50,000 bees. They start dancing, and they're like, hey, look, they do this dance. And sure enough, all 50,000 bees don't go, because they checked out all the hives, all different scouts. 50,000 bees follow the scouts that found the hive that's perfect, and they fly right into that hive. Because it's fucking amazing. They have so much intelligence, but it's swarm intelligence. So the idea is they're trying to organize a lot of companies this way, where there's there's no real boss, where everybody, the most important thing is that everybody has to, because what happens is,
but bees have bosses.
They
ants
don't really.
They
don't. Well, so ants have a queen. Leader. So what I've read is queen ants. Like how long like a soldier ant. So a male ant will live how long versus the queen? The queen will live. Guess how long? Up to 35 years. Like a regular male ant. This is some colonies will live like 24 hours. It's kind of crazy. Wow. It's a vast difference. But what's fascinating is that decisions in companies now, a lot of times when they try to organize the best they can, is that what really matters is that you allow everybody to have their own ideas, and all the ideas compete, so that nobody's like the bully with the idea. Because sometimes people's personality can push the idea through, but it's not the best idea, and people aren't confrontational. They're like, fuck, let them win. But better is when you're trying to solve a problem, everybody has ideas. Let them come together.
Present their ideas, but then you got to select one.
Well, so this is why, this is what's amazing. They study this, like betting for horse races. The reason the odds are always so everybody, they take an aggregate pool of everybody who places their bets. And the way they do it is they look at everybody who bets on certain horses. The odds are always in conjunction with how, what the crowd says is the most likely winner, and what the crowd says is the most likely unwinner. So, because people bet on superstition and bullshit.
That's how betting works in general.
Yeah,
though.
but when you look at the reason, the way the odds work is that you take, and I didn't know this, you take what the crowd says, the wisdom of that crowd will point to certain winners. And that's how you can judge. Because when crowds get together, nobody's telling you how to think, but you're making your own aggregate thing based on all your data as a bettor. when you pool that together, you can usually predict who's most likely going to be the winner. That's why long shots are always long shots.
Well, that's everything, though, That's how it works with in Vegas. And everything.
Odds, right? So that's how they make the odds?
That's how they make the odds.
So that you
because you see the odds come out, it's Conor McGregor's plus 1,200. Floyd Mayweather's, whatever, minus 3,000. And a lot of money. If the public puts a ton of, then the odds change.
Wow. So that's swarm intelligence. Yeah. That would be swarm intelligence. That's fascinating that groups are so much smarter than individuals. And if you want a really successful company, what they say is make sure everybody has their own ideas.
That's interesting. I don't know. I think it's case by case.
No,
right?
that is not case by case because that is how rules are. Well, that's how essentially
because most companies
democracies work too. Even I mean, ideally. And companies are starting to organize that way because that's
I think
certainly
you need a guy like Steve Jobs who's going to have
a visionary.
A visionary, because if you're going by the masses, I don't know if I agree with that.
But there's a good distinction there. So you need somebody who's going to be a visionary who invents something. Okay, you're
going to need a leader,
innovators
who thinks different than the crowd.
Yes.
Otherwise, everyone's going to be the same.
Yeah. This is a little bit different though. So innovators, 100%. You need. That's why individuals should be rewarded for their work, right? So you want innovators. So there's this huge patent war going on with CRISPR, gene editing, and you need to reward the innovators, the geniuses that come up with the original idea. What we're talking about is how to run a company. So how do you, when you have a product like Apple and stuff, you want to be able to run the company the most efficiently, and all the ideas need to be taken into account based on the same idea of like odds in Vegas. You want to have
everyone to be heard.
You want a pool where everybody has the ability to express their ideas, and then that will kind of come up with the best idea. That would be the idea. Yeah. I agree, though. I think you're 100% right that be careful because we're not talking about communism and collective thinking. What you also need is to give space for the smartest guy in the room,
to make
the
some
innovator,
decisions,
the genius.
And then you guys
100%.
with your skills
Yes.
would help create that.
Yes.
And maybe you're going to add to that
Yes.
idea. But there's a reason why we have Mark Zuckerberg,
Correct.
Steve Jobs.
Correct.
And
they should be rewarded.
Elon Musk says something,
Yeah.
I don't want the rest of you to chime in. Yeah, I get the whole Ant Theory and stuff like that. I don't want you guys to chime in. I'm gonna listen to Elon Musk.
Yeah,
the king bee. Here.
Well, but also I bet you I would imagine Elon Musk, part of how his company is driven is also in the fact that those guys are good organizers.
Yeah, but it starts with him, and then you guys organize.
Yes. All of history is moved by individuals. It seems.
There's very special people. I think you don't want to.
Correct. You don't want to stifle that with group
You don't want to
thinking.
water it down.
Yes.
We don't need McDonald's everywhere.
100%.
We need leaders.
Yeah.
Ba-boom!
There is the dropping knowledge. Yeah. How are we doing? Are we done?
We're about done, buddy.
I'm excited.
You're going to be in San Diego, right, pal?
I'll be in San Diego. Listen, you bastards. March 30, 31, April 1st. Only come if you like to fucking roar.
Jack up.
Oh, man.
Only come if you want to bust on Bryan's face.
Oh, no, but you can touch me after the show. Touch me.
And that's free of charge.
Touch me free of charge.
Go see Bryan Calvin.
Everywhere.
Big Brown Breakdown, April 27th in La Jolla.
Yeah.
The Comedy Store, that bitch is almost sold out. Get them while you can. And then The Fighter and the Kid are live. April 8th, we're in Philadelphia at the Trucadero. And April 9th, we're at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. Both those shows are also almost sold out. And then we are in Austin, Texas. Breaking news, Austin, Texas, April 20th through the 22nd at the Moon Tower Comedy Festival. I'm not sure when those tickets go on sale. Hopefully freaking soon. We have the art. We have everything ready. But stay tuned for that. Check Moon Tower schedule for all that. But we'll obviously announce it on our end. I think that's it, my man.
Excited.
We're releasing more Hagoso shirts and Steak and Suck Cafe t-shirts.
Hey, Jay Schaub, I need some shirts. Do you have shirts for me?
Yeah, we talk about it offline.
Jay, I need some shirts.
TFATK.com for all your stuff, tickets, any news, anything you need. This is The Fighter Kid. We're out.